so embarrassed. The house is a mess. Total filth. It's going to take me hours to get it right for Shabbos. Of course, there's a reason I'm having to do all this extra cleaning. About 2 days ago, I sent my cleaner, Magda, out to the fancy dress shop. There's a festival coming up called Purim, where we dress up and have parties and drink a little. In fact, it's one of the few days in the Jewish calendar where we're allowed to get drunk. And it's even permitted to cross-dress if we like. My husband, David, loves to go as Ariel. You know, the one with the red hair from The Little Mermaid. He's actually got a grey pair of legs on him, so why hide them under that fishtail is beyond me. Anyway, the theme show this year is heroes and villains, and the most original costume gets a prize. Dinner for two at Schnitzel, the new black kosher restaurant in Prestwich. Anyway, I told Magda I really want to win, so I need to be original. Well, little did I realise she'd pull a stunt like this. I don't think I've ever been more shocked in my life. Leaves a bag for me. With this in. A bloody Hitler mask! I've been fuming about it for days. Anyway, she just came now, as she always does on a Friday, and I sacked her on the spot. Was wearing the mask when I did it. She got a right shock when she opened the door. She couldn't stop screaming. Well, it serves her right, doesn't it? She won't be getting any references from me, the anti-Semitic little Cossack. Hard to find someone you can really trust. Oh well, another one bites the dust. You might be able to tell I'm a bit of a secret Freddie Mercury fan. It's my guilty pleasure. I'm not so keen on what he did with his private life, mind you, but his music was something else. A broomstick propped up against the wall, don't scratch my wooden floor. I've got to clear my entrance hall, shoes piled up against the door. Not ready for the task, I can't handle this level of stress. Why did she have to buy this mask? Go in the house a mess. A cleaner cleans the dust. A cleaner cleans the dust. Another one gone, and another one gone. Need a cleaner for the dust. Oi, I'm gonna get a cough. Need a cleaner for the dust. Maybe that's who I should dress up as for Purim. Hang on a sec, I think I've still got the receipt. Oh yes, I do. I wonder if I could get my money back for Hitler and get Freddie instead. Hang on a sec, maybe this could be the cast for Freddie. They've both got strange little passions. Oh. I want a clean house. I want a clean house. I want a clean house with no time I can't get satisfied and OCD. I want a clean house. God knows I want a clean house. I was brought up in a religious household. It's a way of life. I don't know any different. Religious people have a certain perspective on things. We are constantly grateful for the good. And we just accept the bad as God's way of doing things. Who are we to question the Almighty? So whenever anything bad happens, you know, like a flat tyre or a stolen wallet, or maybe even a death in the family, God forbid, my bubba over shopping used to say, Gam zu Litova. This too is for the best. Gam zu Litova. It's hard to think like that all the time, but I do try. I class myself as a modern Orthodox mum. In this family, we're what you'd call frum. We're religious people. We all observe all the religion, everything. The house, the food, cooking, clothes, the lot. The grandparents are mainly from Russia and Lithuania, came over from the little shtetls. I mean, my mum is from Ireland, and I love it, because people go, oh, Irish Jew? How can you have someone who's Irish and Jewish? Oh, this is a picture of my absolutely gorgeous daughter, Aviva, and my son-in-law, Benjamin, who got married in November 2008. They have 2 kids at the moment, Shminky and Mushka. And she's pregnant again, Baruch Hashem. They live in Israel, so I don't get to see them that often. Oh, this is a picture of all 3 of my gorgeous kids. They give me so much nachas. That's Yiddish for pride. That's what every Jewish parent wants, really. Nachas. And I get a lot of nachas from my family. The opposite of nachas is soros, which means anguish, suffering, sorrow. And no parent wants that from their child. Trust me, nobody wants soros. Look at my Michael, eh? Cana horror. Isn't he a looker? He's finally engaged to a lovely American girl called Devorah Feigenblum. She's a bit too American and gobby for my liking, but she's got a heart of gold, which is the main thing, I suppose. If I'm honest, I was starting to give up hope with Michael. For a long time, we all thought he was a homosexual. That's what Khalil got forbid a million times over. It's a big no-no in the Orthodox world. Even saying the word gay would get you into trouble. I mean, look, from my point of view, they can do what they want in the privacy of their own homes. Just don't display it in public. If I'm honest, I'm not a fan of any public display of affection, whether it be gay or straight, or whatever else folk do nowadays. People touching each other in front of me has always given me the willies. Ew, pardon the pun. Look, the main thing is that he isn't one of them. If he was, I think it would probably kill me. Look, it was all right for the likes of Freddie Mercury, but not for a nice Jewish boy like mine. Thank God he found himself a decent Jewish girl. The wedding is this coming Sunday. Chassan kala mazel tov, di chassan kala mazel tov, la di di chassan kala mazel tov, la di di di, la di 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 di. It's a madhouse here at the moment, because not only am I getting ready for Michael's wedding this coming Sunday, but I've also got to cook Friday night dinner and Shabbos lunch. Friday night and Saturday we call Shabbos. It's our day of rest. We do absolutely nothing as regards to work. So all the preparations have to be done on Friday or the Thursday night, depending on how organised you are. I made the fish. I've made the soup. I've made the chicken. I've made the meat. I made the dessert. I made the couples. I made the lot. Oh, just keep checking. My chicken soup. Jewish penicillin. Delish. Oh, I've still got to make my knedlach and my kreplach. Oh, I nearly forgot. The fruit salad. You've got to be very careful with fruit because of all the creepy crawlies not being kosher. So you've got to wash your berries really well. Some very frum people won't actually eat raspberries at all because the flies seem to embed themselves on the skin. I actually soak my blueberries in washing up liquid and I throw in just a bit of detergent, you know, just to make sure. They don't taste great, but at least I know they're kosher. Of course, you know, there's a lot we're not allowed to do on Shabbos. We're not allowed to turn on a light, strike a match, nothing electric. You can't watch television. Not that I've got time for the rubbish that's on nowadays. Frankly, some frummers don't even own a TV. Some of them look down on us as if we're heathens or something just for owning a TV. But my husband loves to watch the sport. Not on a Saturday, of course. So he just records it and prays to God. No one tells him the score on his way back from shul. If someone tells him the final score about his beloved Manchester City, oikavalt, he gets in a right mood, he does. Oh, I cut the kitchen roll ready in advance before Shabbos comes in, because you're not allowed to tear. So I pre-tear. I don't have any toilet paper that's on a roll, so I've just got loose tissues. This takes ages. It's actually quite therapeutic. This is my beloved Shabbos kettle. You can't switch it off or on, so it just stays on the whole time. We're not allowed to use any hot water that's from a tap. So what I've got to do is wait until after Shabbos to do all my washing up. So all my dishes are stacked up on the side. That annoys me actually. If I forget to put the Shabbos kettle on, then we've got no hot water. Then what we've got to do is bring in a non-Jewish person into the house. And they haven't got a clue what I'm talking about because we're not allowed to ask them to put the hot water on. So what I've got to do, I've got to say, I can't make myself a cup of tea, but I'd really like one. We go on for this whole palaver for about 2 hours before they put it on that I can't switch it on myself. I go to work, of course, and then I've got to come home and do all the cooking and the cleaning and the baking and the preparing for Shabbos. David comes in and he's like, oh, nice, he loves it. The kids come in, they love it. They've done nothing and I'm ready to have a heart attack here. Bless them. To the non-Jewish world, Jewish food is just chicken soup or matzo balls, or they go, yuck, chopped liver, It's actually quite delicious, chopped liver. Of course, you all know, we definitely can't eat pig. We definitely can't eat non-kosher meat at all. So we go to the kosher butcher, who kills it in the kosher way and checks it's an animal we can actually eat, which is a good job, really. We all know what they put in non-kosher meat nowadays, don't we? And to think all those times people go, oh, I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse. Well, they can now, can't they, with those Findus burgers? I am literally up to my eyeballs in simchas or festivals pretty much every weekend for the next 3 months. Look at these invitations. There's 19 invitations there for different things. 19! Oh, we just get a few. This one is for my nephew's bar mitzvah. If you haven't been to a bar mitzvah, you haven't lived. When a boy gets to 13, in Jewish law, he becomes a man. So, to mark the occasion, he sings from the Torah in front of a few hundred of his parents' closest friends. Just as he gets spots and his voice starts to break, we shine the spotlight on the poor Nebuch. Put him in front of the entire congregation so we can watch his puberty unfold in public. It sounds frightening, but what we're really saying is, don't worry, it doesn't matter if you can't sing. It doesn't matter if your face looks like a pizza. It doesn't matter if you're shorter than all the girls. Don't worry, we're on your side. I think that's the joy of community, really. We're all there for each other. Oh, this one's for a wedding next week. This one's for a bris. Oh no, it's for next Thursday. That's the same time as my challah baking course. I teach women and girls how to bake challah. That's Jewish bread. I'm gonna have to cancel and go to the bris instead. The thing with the bris, it's really for the men, to be honest. I'm not really into it at all. It makes me feel a bit sick. Every Jewish boy has one. You can't get a name, you can't get married, you're not classed as Jewish unless you've had a bris. They cut the foreskin. Oh, I tell you, it makes me feel sick just talking about it. My husband thinks he's funny, because he always says to people, when I had mine done, I couldn't walk for a year. I actually still find that funny, even after hearing it over and over again for the last 30 years. Of course, everyone gets alcohol to calm their nerves, including the baby. I've decided it's the only real pain a man goes through in Jewish life. When I had my first, I was absolutely hysterical. I thought I was a bad person, allowing some mashugana to cut my baby's schmeckle. But then my Bubba of a Sholem found me, and she said those 3 words again, Gam Zu Latova, and she was right. It was for the best. By the time my second boy came along, I was much calmer. You knew that once you heard the scream, that's it, you got yourself a nice Jewish boy. I shouldn't be chatting away like this. I've still got the bedrooms to clean, and I've got to get started on my Canadla. What am I like? Got to get them into the perfect ball shape, or the men won't be happy. They're all obsessed in this family. 2 subjects allowed, Torah and football. Oh, and music, so I suppose it's 3. Our Michael has a right pair of lungs on him. He's put it to good use though, and he's become a chazan in a little shul in Southport. A chazan and a rabbi, such nachas. The singing talent probably comes from me. Not that anyone would know. Women aren't really allowed to sing. It says in the Torah that Kol Isha, the voice of a woman, is too erotic for men to listen to. So we're meant to keep stum. Otherwise they won't be able to control themselves. I do sometimes like to listen to Piccadilly Magic on the radio. I find myself singing along to all those catchy pop songs. I can't help myself. I just love it. It's not such a crime, is it? There's no harm in singing on my own in my kitchen, is there? Only God can hear me. And he's not going to get turned on, is he? I know I'm from, so I've got nothing to be ashamed of. I'm very sniz in the way I dress. Got to cover the skin, you see, nothing revealing. So I wear long skirts, thick tights, tops that cover the elbows. It's a killer in the heat, but seeing as we live in Manchester, it's not such a massive problem really, is it? All it ever does is rain. Now, you probably know that married women are meant to cover their hair. It's not if, why, should, or anything. It's a law that happens straight after the wedding. It could be a hat, a tichel, a beret, a wig, better known as a shaitel. I've never worn a wig. My mother never wore a wig. I know I should wear one. I've got a few here. I brought some home because the shaitel lady said I could try them on at home and then just let her know. To be honest, some of the shaitels you see nowadays are sexier than real hair, so I don't know who they're kidding that men aren't looking at them. Let's just get that off. Oh no. No. Nishka fiddle to that. I look like the love child of John McEnroe and Brian May. Oh, let's go for it. Oh, there's a blonde one. That's hopeful. Let's have a look at that. Please, God, be better. Just want to wear one, you know, at Michael's wedding, then you don't have to wear a hat the whole time. Oh, I quite like this. Have I got it on properly? No. Oh, no, they must be joking. £1,855. Nishka fiddle to that. Oh, I don't care if you're from or not from. I don't even care if you're a Jew or a non-Jew, as long as you're a good person. And you know, if there's anything you're ever, not sure about, like, is that food kosher or not kosher? Or whether you should fast on Yom Kippur when you're pregnant? Or what to do if you need to buy something from a shopkeeper you know has been having an affair for years? That sort of thing. All you have to do is pick up the phone and ask the rabbi. He's bound to have an answer. Not always the answer you want to hear, mind you, but an answer nonetheless. You know, a lot of Jews who aren't from don't understand some of the customs and are sometimes a bit embarrassed by it all. They often ask me, why, Rifki? Why can't you mix milk and meat? Questions like that. And I try and tell them the reason. But if they're still not satisfied, I tell them to pick up the phone and call the rabbi. I raised my kids in this place. I taught them never to waste. I cook food, they do grace. Always the Jewish way. Check kosher food on a list. We make our sons have a bris. It doesn't hurt cause they're pissed. Always the Jewish way. Way of life we choosing. Bar mitzvahs for boozing. If it's too confusing, we just open up the Torah. Jews, if you're thinking of saying bye. Asking why, just wait a second and call the rabbi. If you're thinking of saying bye, just wait a second and call the rabbi. If you find that you're asking why, just wait a second and call the rabbi. You know that Shabbos is big and that we cannot eat pig. I'm not keen on a wig, but still the Jewish way. I don't care to look cool, I love going to shul. It's my #1 rule, always the Jewish way. Way of life we're choosing, bar mitzvahs for boozing. If it's too confusing, we just open up the Torah. Jews, if you're thinking of saying bye, just wait a second and call the rabbi. If you find that you're asking why, just wait a second and call the rabbi. If you're thinking of saying bye, just wait a second and call the rabbi. If you find that you're asking why, just wait a second and call the rabbi.
Shamayim Leolam Shamayim Shema Echad I was lost there for a moment. I get carried away when I sing and pray and meditate. I was just practicing the gun I planned to sing at my wedding. Hard to explain it, really. I suppose it's a combination of parent-child sounds that no one else can understand, a stammering infant language God created for us when our feelings are too delicate or too intimate for others to hear. I work part-time as a rabbi and a chazan. That's Hebrew for cantor. I'm based in Southport at the moment, so not too far from Manchester. Tiny community, Southport. Huge synagogue, hardly any members. 18 men maybe on a Shabbos, 10 women. The community is dwindling. Yes, it's nothing new for communities to be vibrant for 30, 40 years. And then to diminish and move elsewhere. Jews are nomadic. We're famous for it. We are the wandering Jew. So when I settle in Manchester after I'm married, I know my mother wants me to. Devorah doesn't. She's a New York girl through and through. Who knows where we'll go? Hashem, of course. We'll have to see. You know, meeting my wife wasn't easy. People have tried over the years. Rabbis don't get time off. It's stressful. It's not easy. And meeting that someone special can be difficult. My name is not. Even the shadchan, the matchmaker, couldn't set me up. She got so depressed about it, she said she'd give up matchmaking altogether. Poor woman. I've been set up on more failed shidduchs than you've had hot dinners. I've always been the dumpee, not the dumper. Oh no, once I ended it, but all the other times they ended it with me. Someone once said to me that they think people find me overpowering. Perhaps, and dominating, but not in a bad way, but you know, sort of very overbearing. But my grandmother, Uva Shalom, always used to say to me, for every teapot, there's a lid that fits. Well, I think I found my lid. A lid for this yid! Not a yid lid. That's a yarmulke, of course. We've only known each other 2 months, but when you know, right? I never expected to meet my future wife on the internet. But that's modern life, I suppose. Internet dating. I sent her an email on a Jewish dating website. She turned me down. In fact, she turned me down on 2 separate websites. On the 3rd one, I got her. I asked her to marry me at Edinburgh Castle. I serenaded her with the power of klezmer, and I asked her if I could anoint her as my queen. Baruch Hashem, she accepted. And now all the arrangements are in order for the wedding. All I have to do is turn up and stand under the chuppah. A chuppah, for those of you not in the know, is the canopy under which a Jewish couple stand during their wedding ceremony. It consists of a cloth or sheet, or sometimes a tullis, in my case a tullis, stretched or supported over 4 poles, or sometimes held up manually by attendants. I've gone for the pole option. At the end of the ceremony, the groom stands on a glass and smashes it. And they say that in a Jewish marriage, that's the last time the man puts his foot down. I always find that funny. Oh, I've only got 2 days left as a single man. Can you believe it? You're not allowed to see your bride-to-be for a whole week before the wedding. I actually haven't seen her for about a month, so extra brownie points for me. She's in our new home, which is lovely for her, and I've moved into this Premier Inn for the weekend, which is a bit grim, to be honest. but luckily it's walking distance to my parents, so I'll go there for Friday night dinner tonight. I could have stayed there, of course, but I really wanted some space, as my mother would just wind me up. People keep asking me whether I'm nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be singing at the wedding, as I am a chazan after all. Kol hasason v'kol hasimacha, kol hachasan v'kol hakala. When I was in college, in yeshiva, I used to sing in a band. We called ourselves Band of Beards. We used to practice in a small little room with no acoustics. They prohibited me from going as they said I was too loud. I remember one of them saying I had a voice like an overbearing opera singer on acid. But my mother used to tell me that they were just jealous, and I think she may be right. I was the lead, you see. I was the Gary Barlow of the yeshiva world. I'll call you up. I'm teaching a boy his bar mitzvah piece at the moment, and he really cannot sing. His name is Jeffrey. At first I thought he was just tone deaf, but I was mistaken. He's actually deaf. You know, wears the hearing aids and everything, so it's been quite a challenge. It's sad, really, because he gets a bit bullied, too. The kids call him Deaf Jeff. So unfortunate. Of course, shouting at him doesn't help. He's from such a poor family. I've decided to do it pro bono. It's my little mitzvah, you see. I try and do as many mitzvahs as possible. And I've encouraged the boy to do the same. He now comes with me when I visit the old age home and the hospital, and he's even donating some of his bar mitzvah money to tzedakah. He's chosen a charity for helping the deaf, so at least in a way he'll benefit. I'm really trying to teach him to be a mensch. I've been teaching him from the beginning that being Jewish is all about being a mensch. Doing as many mitzvahs as possible. You call them good deeds. We call them mitzvahs. You see, as Jews, we're still waiting for the Moshiach. You call it the Messiah. And we believe that if we all did a few more mitzvahs, then the Moshiach is just that bit closer to arriving. A mitzvah boy who cannot hear, another mitzvah on its way, then Moshiach might appear. Give your time to other folks, do a good deed, put your coin in the charity box, those are the ones in need. A million mitzvahs later, that I care. A million mitzvahs later, here I am. I don't eat ham. A million mitzvahs later, I'm your man. Singing to your Hashem, keeping kosher all my life, pray 3 times a day, kiss my tzitzit all the time, wear my tefillin the right way, wearing black, that's how I roll, the color of the frumest ones cleanses my soul. A million mitzvahs later, meet Ham. A million mitzvahs later, I'm your man. I'm glad I've had the bar mitzvah boy to think about, really, as it's been quite a nice distraction from all the wedding arrangements. I've even invited Jeffrey and his family to the wedding, but I've said no gifts, as it's pretty clear they can't afford much, and I wouldn't want to embarrass them in any way. My mother and Devorah keep asking for my opinion on things like the flowers. I suggested getting a small pink bush-clustered rose called Deb's Delight, which is quite appropriate after all, as Deb is my wife-to-be's English name. But they weren't having any of it. Thought I was mad for suggesting it, but it just so happens that I happen to know a lot about flowers and plant species. I can't help it if I happen to be a bit of an expert. So, am I nervous about the wedding? No, I am not. For the actual marriage, I'm bricking it. You see, there are certain things that, as a man, I should have done by now, but the religion forbids it until you're married. So here I am, a 35-year-old virgin. Not ideal, I know, but I am absolutely 100% confident that area will not be a problem.
Mrs. Devorah Feigenblum. Hello, I'm Mrs. Feigenblum. No, it doesn't sound wise. I think it's a Mrs. bit. Hello, I'm Ms. Devorah Feigenblum. No, it's such a mouthful. Why a woman needs to change her name when she gets married is beyond me. Maybe I'll just keep my name as it is, especially for work. I'm so long in the tooth now, nobody's gonna care. I'm a finance director at Merrill Lynch. Not your average New York Jewish girl. David knows what he'll be getting when he marries me. He knows what sort of a wife I'll be. I won't be staying home cooking matzo ball soup and changing diapers for the rest of my life, I can tell you that for nothing. Brooklyn and Manchester are very different places. I prefer Brooklyn. But wherever we settle, I will be going to work. It's non-negotiable. I'm not sure his mother has whacked her head. Oh, I'm not used to these. I'm not sure his mother has whacked her head round this yet. I know what she's thinking when she looks at me. She's thinking I'm not feminine enough. She's thinking I'm not traditional enough. I'm not domestic enough. She's thinking I'm overweight. She's thinking I'm ugly. She thinks I'm a freak. Well, she can think all she likes, but she should be pleased her son finally found someone like me. I am a religious Jewish woman. I just happen to work. Big deal, she works. Albeit as a dentist receptionist. But still, I can't be all moody about it. You know what's amazing? Is that I get more respect from Michael's father, David, than I do from whiskey. Sometimes it's the women who hold us back more than the men, don't you find? My God, that's so dry. Of course, my parents have had their fair share of anxiety. constantly worrying that I would be a spinster for the rest of my life. They were starting to give up on me. You've left it too late to give us grandchildren, Devorah. We pray for you every day. Please don't let us die without the buckle of grandchildren. Blah, blah, blah. I'm the only child, you see, so... all their hopes are pinned on me. Now, they're over the moon because I've finally found a husband, so I'll be able to fulfill that particular mitzvah. But I will not sacrifice my career. Not for them, not for anyone. Am I a feminist? Probably. It's not a label I'm too keen on banding about, because ignorant people make assumptions when you say you're a feminist, they think you're a lesbian. I am not a lesbian. I am a human being with a brain in my head. A brain that God gave me, and I need to use that brain. You know, growing up in Brooklyn, in the Hasidic community, was very, very tough. They censor the books you read, so you don't get any ideas about becoming too secular. Maybe that's why I found it hard meeting a man. It was always a struggle. I do get on better with women than with men. I sometimes think maybe the life of a lesbian would be easier. It's just a shame I don't find women attractive. All that's needed is a little sperm and anyone can play happy family. Of course, these views would be shunned in the community where I'm from. Oh. The question is, do I find Michael attractive? Look, he's a very kind person. I'm just not sure we've got that much in common. You know, not that much chemistry. He's a little short, but then I'm a little fat. So nobody's perfect. You know, I used to suffer from serious low self-esteem issues. I lost all my hair between the ages of 13 and 15 years old. It was a terrible time for me. My parents thought I was dying, but it was just alopecia. The name calling I used to hear was horrific. Baldy, skinhead, cancer victim, and that was just my mother. No, I'm joking. She never called me Baldy. Of course, I forgive my parents now. I don't think at the time they knew what they were doing. Forcing me to wear a cheap synthetic wig wasn't the best decision on their part. I was permanently teased, especially in the playground when the wig used to blow up my head on a windy day. Oh, that was always so mortifying. Of course, I turned to food for comfort, something I still do to this day. So, back in high school, I progressed from being the skinhead to the fat Jewish skinhead. You know, I look back at some of those bitchy girls, and they were meant to be so orthodox and worthy, and the way they treated me back in the day was appalling. They never stood up for me. Now, they're living in Brooklyn with 9 or 10 kids, and they're twacked. They're so miserable, you can see it on their faces, stuck at home with no career prospects and a wasted education. Where's their pretty hair now, huh? I'll tell you where. Covered up under a shido, that's where. And the hypocrisy. Oh, I was in temple over Yom Kippur, and they all walk in with these killer heels. How is that modest? The shoes and the makeup and the shidos make them look like prostitutes. Some of them look more like drag queens than respectable wives. If I sound bitter, I don't mean to be. It's just that getting married after all this time, being a single woman is more life-changing than you can imagine. I am particularly nervous about dancing at the wedding. I don't do dancing. And I certainly do not want to get up on one of those chairs. I'll probably break it. The truth is, I'm not even sure how to be myself around men. They've never exactly been banging down my door to go on a date with me. Plus, a lot of them just assume I'm already married because of the wig. Michael wants to buy me a brand new wig once we're married. You know, a shidel as a wedding present. I don't know what to do. Do I wear the new wig on top of the current wig? It's gonna get very itchy under there. So, as you can tell, my life as an overweight oldie hasn't got me too far with the opposite sex. But then again, you only need one, right? And I found him. He's actually very romantic. For our engagement, I knew he was plotting some sort of musical extravaganza. I thought maybe some Barbra Streisand or Neil Diamond. But no, he surprised me with a live klezmer band at Edinburgh Castle. It was actually very special, as long as you don't mind getting soaked, and it didn't stop raining. You know, my mother told me that the suicide rate among people living in the north of England is very, very high because of the terrible weather. Now, if that isn't a good enough reason to stay in America, I don't know what is. I like to talk, but I can't sing and dance. I can hardly walk. Manchester might be right for him. For me, it's when level in Brooklyn. Getting itch. It's a dream come true, 'cause I itch. The lace on this dress is killing me. I feel more free forever in Brooklyn. The wedding night, I'm so scared all alone, me and him. It might go wrong with this schlong, wish I wasn't so prim. I like to talk, but I can't sing and dance, I can hardly walk. Manchester might be right for me. Me and Quinn, rather in Brooklyn. Oh my. Who is it? Hello? Who's there?
It's me, Devorah. You've got to let me in. There's something you need to know. It's urgent.
Why do we like the sharpest candles? Why do we like the sharpest candles? Why do we like the sharpest candles on a Friday evening?
Devorah is a very attractive woman. Although I have only met her on 3 occasions, I know she's the one. Look, in this country, and generally in the West, the tradition is that you fall in love and then you get married. Well, for religious Jews, it's often the other way round. You get married first and then you work at the love bit after. Which means it's probably more likely to last, as you have to put the work in. There's so much I already love about Devorah anyway. we have a shared passion for music. She loves Neil Diamond. I used to like him, but since he became a Christian, I'm not so sure. Of course, Devorah says that's nonsense. Once a Jew, always a Jew. She loved the jazz singer, you see. She used to watch it all the time before her parents forbade all forms of filmic and television experience, which I totally understand, more so now than ever. We've already agreed we won't be letting our kids watch any telly. So, a friend once asked me whether it bothers me that she earns more than I do. Not at all. On the contrary, if anything, it frees up my time so I can study more Torah. Hello? Yes, of course, put her through! Oh, Devorah, my dear! I was just thinking about you! Ha-ha, you my Shayna Maidler! Hello again! Hello! I just called to say hello! I couldn't sleep at all tonight. And I know it's late, but I couldn't wait. Hello. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Are you as excited as me, my dear? Sorry? I'm sorry to hear that. Go ahead, go ahead then. What? What do you mean? Everything's arranged. What do you mean? You had a change of heart 2 days before the wedding? Who have you been talking to? Somebody poisoned you against me. This does not make sense. But please, Deborah. No, we need to see each other face to face. Can I come and see you so we can talk about this like grown-ups? Oh, please, Deborah. Will you owe me an explanation? I know it's nearly Shabbos, but I'll walk over to you. Yes, I know it will take me 3 hours, but I have no choice. My life, our lives, are about to be ruined.
Why do we drink a glass of wine? Oh, why do we drink a glass of wine? Why do we drink a glass of wine on a Friday evening?
Statistics show that religious people just don't get divorced. You see, the shadchan, the matchmaker, has done all her homework beforehand to make sure it's a perfect match. And nowadays, young people seem to really need a helping hand finding that someone special, don't they? Me and David met at a party, so it was very natural. We were going out for about 6 months before we got engaged. Now, we did actually hold hands, but we didn't sleep together. We definitely didn't do anything like that. Religious people wait until after they're married for all that stuff. And whatever you've heard about doing it through a hole in a sheet is utter nonsense. It's more like a thick blanket. Religious people have sex, just like everyone else. The only difference being is that when it's the woman's time of the month, then it's a no-entry zone. My husband is scared of blood anyway, so it suits him just fine. Married women are meant to count 7 clean days after their period is finished. Then go visit a mikveh, a large ritual bath used for special cleansing. And then, and only then, can she resume relations with a husband. I love it. It makes the whole thing very special. It means you get excited for sex. You know, you count down the days. It's a structure that really works. David says he loves the counting bit more than the sex itself. Which I think is a compliment. I love my grandchildren so much that it's actually quite overwhelming. I hate the fact that I can't be with them every day. So I just hope and pray that my 2 boys don't leave me like my daughter did. Not that I'm one to tell them how to live their lives. But it just would be nice if they could be a bit more local, that's all. Oh my gosh, Shabbos comes in any minute. And I'm taking my time talking to you. But to get ready, they'll be singing my favourite song in shul right now. Oh, I love it. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat lecha doda, something like that. It compares Shabbat to a bride. Very, very beautiful. Right, I haven't got enough forks, there we go. It's only me, David, Michael. I better light candles, what am I doing? Okay. Right. Shabbat Shalom. Such a wonderful feeling. It makes me feel at one with the universe. It really does. Oh, I see the Levensons haven't lit yet. They really let the side down there. Bit upset I never spoke to Michael before Shabbos came in. We usually speak on the phone. Do hope he's okay in that hotel room on his own. I tried to persuade him, you know, to come home, but he said he'd prefer to be at a Premier Inn. Ridiculous. I've kept his bedroom exactly the same for the last 15 years. God knows why he'd choose a hotel room over his own home. Anyway, at least he's coming for Friday night dinner tonight, his last Shabbos before getting hitched. I can't believe it, really. My boy chick getting married. Now, although I've had my reservations about Devorah, she is a lovely girl, but let's face it, nobody can replace the mother. Michael has always needed me in his life, you see. We tell each other everything. I do hope she can cook. She certainly looks like she can. Oh, what do I sound like? A typical Jewish mother. That's strange. Nobody calls me on Shabbos. Must be some market research people, or maybe somebody trying to sell me something. I would never pick up, you see. No phones, no TV, no computer, no technology, nothing whatsoever. An hour limit makes me feel peaceful. I know what you're thinking. What happens if it's an emergency? But I don't think like that. I'm a very positive person. Gam zu letopa. Oh, God for that. I am absolutely starving. Let me just have a look. Oh, look at those beauties. I baked them myself. The smell is divine. Challah is meant to be like manna from heaven. And if it's good, it tastes like it too. So calorific though, that's the only problem. Miriam Goldenberg, a so-called friend of mine, was absolutely convinced my challah was shop bought. I mean, as if. I think she's got a bit of a problem with me, Miriam, because I've had a lot of mazel in my life and she's had a fair amount of sorrows. Anyway, right, I am absolutely famished. Not sure I can wait any longer. starving. I got a quick drink. I can't, must wait. Look at this. Oh, you brought not the phone again. If it was important, they'd leave a message. I'd hear it. I think I'm going mad. It's probably one of those, have you been missold PPI insurance nonsense? Honestly, what am I like? I am now absolutely verhallished. Look, can you see? Waistline. You know what? While I'm feeling thin, I think I might go on and try my wedding outfit again. Just bear with me. Wait till you see this dress. It's a proper simpler dress. I don't think I've ever worn anything with so many sequins in my life. I would never ever normally wear something like this, but it is a special occasion. Oh, wait till Miriam Goldenberg sees me in this. She'll be platzing with jealousy. Bring the action. Everybody in the show, you're gonna say Mazel Tov. You're gonna say Mazel Tov. You're gonna say Mazel Tov. In the ladies' gallery, see my boy. He's getting hitched. He's getting hitched. See my boy in the show? He's getting hitched. It's my simcha. It's my simcha. Everybody in the show? It's my simcha. It's my simcha. It's my simcha. I want to nosh and schmooze and drink lots of booze. Nosh and schmooze with all of my Jews. We're saying oi oi, please go by you. Oi oi, please go by you. I want to nosh and schmooze and drink lots of booze. Nosh and schmooze with all of my Jews. I'm standing by the chuppah now. This wedding goes without a hitch. That's because I am Rifki, bitch. Baruch Hashem. Bring the action. Everybody arrive en masse. 400 people on the list. It's a wedding you ain't gonna miss. Hey, you. Caterer makes a meal on tray. Serve the beef that's on display. Never seen such a huge buffet. Spend so much cash, it's cost the moon. Wait till you see the room. Decorated in scarlet bloom. After this, a baby boom. Wait to be mother of the groom. 'Cause everywhere I go, I bring the action. When you see me in the show, you're gonna say Mazel Tov. You're gonna say Mazel Tov. You're gonna say Mazel Tov. In the function room. It's my simcha. It's my simcha. It's my simcha. See my boy on the chair? Not falling off. Not falling off. Not falling off. Everybody gonna dance? It's my simcha. It's my simcha. It's my simcha. I want to nosh and schmooze and drink lots of booze. Nosh and schmooze with all of my Jews. We're saying oi oi, please go by you. Oi oi, please go by you. I want to nosh and schmooze and drink lots of booze. Nosh and schmooze with all of my Jews. Your checks should cover all the costs. This wedding goes without a hitch. That's 'cause I am Ricky, bitch.
A few hours ago, I was looking forward to finally becoming a married man. Now I'm schlepping through Broughton Park, trying to persuade my loved one that I'm not a kidney fiddler. Oh, Hashem, are you testing me? Please, please, please help me in my hour of need. I will say to Hillel, to Hashem now, whenever life gets hard, the Psalms are very useful. Oh, to think of me doing the things she said. No wonder she doesn't want to marry me. The rumour must be in overdrive by now. Oh, to think of all the Lashonara being said about me. I'll probably lose my job as a husband and a rabbi. Where will my income come from? Oh, they probably won't let me be a mole anymore either. Oh, believe me, I'm a very good mole. Never made a mistake in a circumcision in my life. In fact, some of those baby boys, I watched them grow up and taught them their very own bar mitzvahs. I never did anything wrong to them. This is so unfair. The world has gone with sugar. I think my mother would probably die from the shame of it all. I've got to clear my name. I've got to. Can't even think where all this came from. Who would say this about me? It's just clicked. It's Deaf Jeff. It has to be. I mean, the boy is practically a retard. He's so needy, you see. He just comes into the lesson and gives me all these inappropriate hugs. He's obviously not loved at home, so I never wanted him to feel a double rejection. Why would he turn on me like that? Unless we could vote. The caretaker. He must have seen something and misconstrued the whole scenario. Oh, this is bad. This is very bad. Oh, what am I to do once this sort of thing gets out? You're already damn me. Even if I could prove to Devorah my innocence, in everyone else's eyes, I'd still be a pedophile. Oh, this is so unfair. As if I'd be interested in a backwards, deaf 13-year-old boy! He's not even that good looking! Now I know how Michael Jackson felt when he was wrongly accused! Oh, I've never felt so much good in my life. Why has such sorrows fallen upon me? Why? A shanda and a harper! I'm ashamed and a disgrace. A shame and a disgrace. No. There was a time when boys were boys, when their voices soft, just before their breaking. There was a time when all this noise turned to perfect song. Bar mitzvahs in the making. There was a time and it all went wrong. I dreamed a dream that never missed. Each single breath that I was cutting. I dreamed of Devorah's first kiss. I dreamed that life wouldn't be so gutting. A special rabbi with a dream. Now I must learn to be more guarded. People held me in great esteem. Life's plan destroyed by a retarded
by my side. He filled my days with tone-deaf blunder. I took his deafness in my stride. Can't imagine life without Devorah. But still I dream she'll change her mind, that we will live the days together. But there are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms we cannot weather. I had a dream my life would be so different from this hell I'm living, so different now from what it seemed. Now Jeff has killed the dream.
Spend my whole life waiting. Everyone says be patient, Rifki. All good things come to those who wait. I'm still waiting. Don't worry, Rifki, the men will come home from shul any minute. Oh, I know you're absolutely verchalished and you haven't eaten all day, but you just need to wait. Patience is a virtue. Just wait. Now look at the time, yeah, it's so late, I'm craving some wine, but I must wait in this neighbourhood. I knew that I should, my cradles look good. Let's wait for Kiddush, that's the rule, my food will be mush. How long is shul? They might be outside, and patience is tried, the souffle has died. I can't wait no more. Taste it on my tongue, no one knows. Get a little drunk, it won't show. Gotta eat some challah, gotta eat some challah, gotta eat some challah. I just ate some bread, now I'm not sick. What's wrong with my head going potty? I just had some challah, I just had some challah, I just had. Shabbos father? Is he reading? No?
What are you eating?
Well, it's just some halal and some flame. It's actually a very nice combination. Look. Don't tell me you left him yapping to everyone in shul.
I never went to shul.
What do you mean you never went to shul?
I went to see Devorah.
What?
She phoned me just before Shabbos to say...
To say what?
To say...
Oh, spit it out
To
already.
say the wedding's off!
What?
That's where I've been. I walked round to see her. To plead with her. But to no avail, Mother. To no avail. She wouldn't even let me in.
Oh, good God. Having palpitations. Kill me. Just kill me now. Kill me with a knife. God. What's wrong with her? She's gone with sugar. Where's your father? Where, he'll know what to do. Where the hell is the man?
Yeah, she just wouldn't listen. She believes on the Lashon Hara, Mother. She believes the rumours are true.
Rumours? What rumours? I haven't heard any rumours. I always hear rumours before anyone else. What are you talking about?
Aren't you going to pick up?
Have you got my sugar now? It's Shabbos.
Yeah, but you said you didn't know where Dad was. It might be about him.
Oh, don't be silly. You're making me feel distraught.
Well, shall I answer it?
No!
What about Daddy?
There will be some simple explanation about him. I'm sure of it. You know how he likes to have a whiskey with Stanley. It'll probably just be a bit shicker, that's all. He'll walk in here any minute. Anyway, you're deliberately changing the subject. Why has Devorah called the wedding off? What have you done wrong?
Nothing, Mother, nothing. It's all rumours. This isn't real life. It's just a fantasy. People are talking. Must handle it manfully. I must not cry. Remember their lies and see. I am a rabbi. I've got my dignity because Hashem is here, Hashem is there.
Have you had an affair?
No, I really love her, but nobody seems to care. Mother, I just hugged a boy. Put my arms around his waist. Now I'm feeling quite disgraced. Mother, will I work again? Bar mitzvahs, brisses, have they gone away? Mother, ooh, I don't mean to make you cry.
Think how we will feel this time tomorrow. Wedding gone, wedding gone. Now all I have is sorrows.
Real soon, my time will come. We'll surely go to court.
Isn't that the last resort?
Goodbye, Deborah, my future wife. Look forward to the day we would be wed. Mother, ooh, I do not feel boys. Why didn't she believe what I had said?
photo of a man. It's your dad, it's your dad. Can see him through the window. Demented and yelling, very, very telling. See, by the lamp.
It's a tramp.
By the lamp.
It's a tramp.
By the lamp.
That's not Daddy. I am a rabbi of a community.
He is a rabbi, grant him impunity.
I need a new opportunity.
No one would hire you, what would you even do?
A lawyer.
You?
They always loved you.
Never do.
A teacher.
They will not let you through.
Let me through.
Zookeeper and move to Kathmandu.
Kathmandu.
Move to Kathmandu.
Kathmandu.
Move to Kathmandu.
I think I've got the flu.
No.
Oh, mother dear, believe me.
Lord above, why a paedophile son? Why me? Why me? Why me?
So you think you'll disown me and say your goodbyes? Please tell me you don't believe all of their lies. Oh, it's a pity. I'm feeling quite shitty. Just gotta get out of Manchester City. Sin and a veil. It might be important. I've never pressed the button on Shabbat before. I've never even turned on a light, but this might be an emergency. Hashem will forgive me. If you even exist! Oh, I just said. What is happening to me? What have I become? Should I press the key? Should I press the key? I'm going straight to hell!
Ribkey, please pick up with your husband, David. Oh, I must have phoned you a dozen times already. I want you to work out. It's an emergency, woman. Oh, now that blasted answer machine's finally working. Yeah, I know, it's Shabbos. I'm sorry. But I'm sicker, Rivka. Really sicker. Please, pick up if you can hear me. Oh, I'm so sick here. You forgive me, I've been drinking all night. I bet you'll be worried sick, and I'm sorry for that. Blame Stanley. He gave me a lot to drink and shul. No, I'm a broken man, Rivki. After I heard the news about Michael, you broke. Yeah, he's terrible. Just terrible. And Devorah, poor shay fella, she cried her eyes out when she heard about our boy Chick, and I've been consoling her all night. I'm with her now, Rivki. And we've decided we can't stay in Manchester after all these missugaries. That's a problem with rumours, that feathers in the wind. And once the words are out there, can't be taken back. Devorah can't marry a kiddie fiddler, and I can't go back to school knowing what everyone's saying. So I've decided to leave, Rivki. I'm leaving Manchester once and for all. I'm going to live in the dreamland, Rivki. Yes, I'm moving to America. I'm making a new life with Devorah by my side. I'm sorry, Rivki. I wish things worked out better between us, but 36 years ain't too bad, is it? Hey, had a good innings. It's time to move on. Devorah and I were in love. There you are, said it now.
My life's full of sorrows. You are dead to me. My life's full of sorrows. No more schlepping, nothing for me. Mother? Did you hear the answer machine? Did you hear what's happened?
Yes, son, I heard. And as my Bubba over Sholem used to say, Gam zu Lutum. This too is the best. Now, Michael, it's Shabbos. There's a lot of food to be eaten. Please, take that awful Hitler mask off and stop crying.
What the? It's not Hitler.